Welcome to another episode of The Mind's Eye with Mike Lowry. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it as always. I got another good one for you today. I got a good friend by the name of Ashley, and we're going to be talking about baggage claim. What are you willing to put up with, and what are some deal breakers for you? And are you leaving situations too prematurely? Stay tuned. I have my friend Ashley here. We've been friends for a long time, gym rats. We kick it, we hang out, good people. I wanted to bring her on the episode and talk about baggage claim. And the baggage claim was the idea of like people, having baggage bring into a relationship. I think that when we first meet people, we already have a preconceived notion that if you've been married before, if you got kids, or if you make a certain amount of money or not make a certain amount of money, they already like start to X people out. Mm-hmm. And they never really give people a real opportunity to, engage with you and show you like, maybe they can be what you're looking for, but they may have this little baggage over here.
Right.
So, but with that being said, I think a lot of times we miss the idea like where they might be tall, dark, and handsome, or she might be beautiful or what have you, but she don't, communicate effectively. Or she can become like, she's a narcissist or he's a narcissist or what have you. Or there's things that we don't really like think about when we first meet somebody. We think like, oh, because, they don't have any kids or they were never married before, then that's what you go for.
Right.
But then they can have these other things or other baggages like, dealing with past trauma or, never really seen a healthy relationship or whatever the case may be. And like, that's what we go for when we saw that in the beginning. And, when you could have had that guy with a kid and he could have been all you were looking for.
Could have been the right one.
Could have been the right one. So with that being said, I want to ask you a series of questions.
Okay.
These are like little scenarios as to understanding like, what would you do in this situation if this was the type of guy that you met?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's say somebody is there for you. They connect with you. They care about you. They support anything that you got going on, and you feel protected. But they have 2 kids. Mm-hmm. Is that somebody in the beginning that you feel like you would consider dating or seeing what it could be? Why or why not?
Me personally.
Okay.
I would.
Okay.
I mean, if we've gotten to the stage that I'm feeling protected, I've obviously already given you a chance.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm feeling safe and protected and all those great things, then I've already decided early on that,
right.
I don't see your 2 kids necessarily as baggage, right? It's just your circumstance.
Okay.
So.
Okay. All right. That's a good answer. I like that. All right. So let's move along.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say a guy makes 6 figures, tall, dark, and handsome, but has poor communication. He doesn't communicate effectively. Would you consider him? He's tall, dark, and handsome. He makes good money, but he has poor communication. Would you consider dating him? And so in the beginning, I think that you can kind of see how people communicate as you're going out on dates maybe, or getting some text messages, some phone calls. You can kind of get a feel for how people communicate.
You think you can. And okay. I have a great example of this in my current life.
Okay.
Because I was that person that approached a situation thinking, yeah, I'm for sure ready to date. I know how to communicate effectively. I'm not, what trauma? Right. I'm not triggered by anything. And then I started dating and got into a relationship, and everything that he likes to remind me sometimes as well, but everything that I said I wanted to do, like this is how I want to show up, that's not initially how I was showing up. I was not communicating effectively. I was triggered by a lot of things. Understandably so. This is I haven't been in a relationship in a while, so I'm not realizing that I'm going to be triggered by a lot of things. And so I don't know until it happens, right? Luckily, I have someone who's, gives me grace and is patient, and I'm thankful for that, but that's not everyone's situation.
Right.
So I would say, like, yeah, I would, and you can help them communicate effectively. we get into it and say, you know, like, oh, they're grown. I'm not teaching anybody how to treat me. Well, that's kind of the opposite, because you do need to teach someone how to date you. Like, that's literally what dating is. I don't understand that statement at all. But like, it's a real thing. Like, you know, you do have to teach people, because every person is different. Everyone does not want to be treated the same. Everyone's expectations are different. So me personally, yes, I would still give him a chance.
So that's good to know, because I think that like it goes to where a lot of people, like how communication like takes time. It takes time to consider, because he has these other tangibles in terms of being tall, dark, and handsome. He makes good money. We can work with communication. But why is it that like if a guy has a past that you don't? Like, for example, at our old age, as I like to call it, like I'm 39, so I'm getting up there a little bit. And so I've ran into women where they're like 36, 37, 38, still want like a guy that's never been married, still want like the kids, you know, but not with a guy that has kids. So like, why aren't they given the opportunity more to like, okay, you know what? Let me see how this could go. This might not be that bad, even though I desire something different, to see how it goes. Because this could be the guy that, you know, caters to me, that shows up for me, that supports me and cares about me. But I think a lot of times they miss that idea because they already looking at that initial thing. Like, it's like, I don't want a guy with kids.
Right.
But you could change your whole life with
People
this guy.
have unrealistic expectations, unfortunately, and that's due to society and a lot of social media.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, it's one thing to not consider someone because they don't take care of their kids. It's another thing if they are happily taking care of their kids and supporting their kids and have a good relationship, co-parenting, and they're showing up exactly how they're supposed to. You want actually someone like that in your life, because then they've already shown how they can show up for people, and they can show up for you. So why wouldn't you want that? A lot of people see, you know, if you already go into it thinking negatively, then everything's going to be perceived as negative.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, nobody's perfect. Everybody comes with something.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So are you going to, like, you know, be closed-minded to the idea of, like, having everything that you want and desire, but there's just a little thing over here.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So moving along. So let's say married before, has no kids, but makes $65,000 a year here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Would you consider dating somebody like that? That's a good one.
Never married.
No, he wasn't married before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, married before.
Okay.
And divorced now, obviously. And now makes only $65,000 a year in Raleigh. So he's got, you know, been married before, only making $65K. Would that be somebody you would consider?
There are. Okay. There are situations where that is absolutely okay. Now, one, we're only going off of this person that you presented on paper, and these are the little bit of facts that we know out there, right? No personality, no nothing.
So sometimes at a bar, you can get this much information. Like, they work at such and such, and you kind of get an idea about how much they make, and they, you know, disclosed that they were married before. So sometimes you get that. So then, like, y'all exchange numbers, you know, you're attracted, blah, 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 and you know those two little components. Can you proceed?
Well, I think I can if I only know that initially.
Okay.
I have follow-up questions. What led to the divorce? You know, because I know, and for whatever reason, in our age group, some people got married, I don't know, like in college, before college.
That's true.
So I'm not quite sure what they were doing with their lives, but obviously it was getting married at a young age. And so therefore they end up regretting that decision and getting divorced. So if it was a situation like that, okay, fine. Or if you made a mistake and you cheated, that's just be honest about whatever the reason was.
That's fair.
The $65,000.
I knew that was going to be the more.
I'm saying this because, like, I'm trying, like, my gauges and salary be off, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
Like, mine are off. So I don't know if I'm going off of that, because I don't tend to, like, That's not a question I'm asking in general.
Mm-hmm.
But say
like,
I knew.
You kind of like say like, so what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
If somebody says X, Y, and Z, you kind of can get an idea. Like,
Uh-huh.
okay, yeah, that's probably like, you know, no disrespect to anybody that work anywhere making a living, but you know, for what you desire and what you want or looking for, a 65K.
But also, I'm not. That number is not going to matter to me initially. And I say this because I'm really looking at how they handle their money.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I like to do certain things. Are we still going to be able to do those certain things?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm looking for similarities in that sense and how you manage your money.
Right.
Like there used to be a day when, you know, we probably all made that or make it or what have you. And some people are way better with their money than other people. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And so, you know, they may be able to teach me a thing or two if they are financially smart and you know, whatever. And who knows, who's to say that they didn't just start at this company making that and then there's only room for growth from there.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'm not, if I know the profession and it's like, okay.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing that, like, to your point, like, I think a lot of people aren't really giving people that opportunity to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You just look at what's on paper, essentially, and be like, you know what? I could never. But it's like that person could actually have taken a step back. That last job was making a certain amount of money, and they were going through certain things at the job as to why they had to move on, you know, continue to make some money, have a job because they have responsibilities. But we already canceled this person out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think it's just unfair. And then sometimes we find ourselves getting at our age or whatever and older, and you still having this expectation or looking for something that don't exist.
Yeah. I mean, that's true.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It's very true, unfortunately. So we're gonna move on. Let's say he checks all the boxes in every category, like the finances. He makes money. He's tall, dark, and handsome, and he's giving you all the things that you desire and need.
Okay.
But there's a component about you that's important to you. He's a homebody, and you're adventurous. And you want to go out, you want to do things, you want to be involved in this and this and that. However, he's sending you cash apps, he's taking you to lunch, he's taking you to Capitol Grill, he's doing all these things for you. But the adventurous aspect of it, I think that a lot of times we find ourselves getting caught up in people that look like what we want, but that aren't compatible with what we need. So, would you consider?
It depends what's important to the person, first of all. Is the cash apps and the wine and dining important to you, or is him traveling with you more important to you? Also, is there any leeway? Is he willing to travel for special occasions? You know, being outside is not for everybody. And being outside a little bit is for some people.
Yeah.
So you have to know.
Right.
And when you're going in, like, be realistic on both ends. When you met them, were they outside a little bit? Don't expect that to change a whole lot, but it absolutely should change
to some degree.
Absolutely,
for sure.
Because situations, you're not only catering to your needs anymore. You know, you have a partnership. So, you know, slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
But also on the other side of that, he has to not have me on this guy on paper, not have me on lockdown either.
Right.
Because I should still be able to leave the house. You know, I should still be able to go to brunch with my girlfriends and, you know, responsibly. You know, I still do responsible things. Now, it's one thing if I'm out here and throwing ass on everybody at the day party. Now, that's disrespectful.
That is, for sure.
But it's different. You know, am I being respectful? But also, you know, I like to travel. And maybe they don't like to travel as much. Is he going to be fine with me going with friends? Or going by myself, you know? So just willing to compromise in those aspects.
Right. So, but I'm thinking more like on like a smaller, like regular, like, you know, would you go on the trail? And would you be outside? Do you work out? You know what I'm saying? Do you work out? Because a lot of people don't work out.
Now,
you know
my lifestyle things that are important to me like that, yes, those Absolutely.
Exactly.
I do need like that. The wine and dining's great.
Yeah. So that's where I'm getting at. So the cash out, the wine and dine, taking the Capital Grill, but can you do the simple things with me?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times people get caught up in like,
Mhm.
yo, he did X, Y, and Z for me, blah, 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 blah. But like, those are 8 good things, but those 2 things are extremely important to
Right.
you. And they outweigh the other 8.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So are you willing to compromise those 2 things that are extremely important to you to get the other 8?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that goes back to like, are you willing to accept the fact that somebody got a kid?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or not? Because, you know, he might have that, but be all
might
these
be in
other
the
great
gym
things.
all the time.
Might be
Might
in the
eat
gym.
healthy.
Might be connected to you. Might,
Who's to
you know.
say he won't send you,
from
$40
time to
for
time.
lunch? Cash out.
Then how much is lunch?
I'm being generous.
I'm gonna tell you, you go to Hibachi right now. I'm telling you, you can get enough for 2 people.
First of all,
And
2
a drink
people,
for like $12.
two people at the Mongolian spot is about $30. All right.
Yeah, we going to Hibachi. We don't need no Mongolia nothing.
I'm just saying, it's not a whole bunch, but if you want to be generous,
Yeah, I mean, of course you can. I just think that like some
for
people.
the delivery fee.
Yeah, come on now. I'm gonna just bring it myself.
If she not, I was gonna say, just bring it. If she not leaving the crib or the job or whatever,
Yeah.
just
Bring it myself. You don't have to worry about nothing else.
there you go. There you go.
But yeah, that's the thing though. So like, I think that a lot of people like sell themselves short for good opportunities because it doesn't initially look like what they expect.
Right.
And I think it's unfair. And then you find yourself older and it should be like, well, there's no good women out here or there's no good men out here. And it was because there's a lot of people that came your way. It just didn't look like what you wanted.
Right.
But then I'm going to get spiritual. Y'all say y'all
Bringing the Lord into
believe
it.
God works in mysterious ways,
Okay.
and then you critique how mysterious He is because it don't show up the way you want it to.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Ashley, what you got to give to the people? I think you got something in your spirit, your shanana, to tell the people about what they should do in the aspect of dating and meeting people for the first time.
Being open is important. And you're gonna have to do something different to get something different. You know, you want someone who leads, you want someone who, holds the fort down, all of these great things. And, you may have to change your way of doing things in order to get that. So, be open to change. A lot of us are not. We're kind of stuck in our ways in situations and just life in general. We're so used to doing things a certain way. Just be open to whatever comes your way. It's okay to give things a chance. It's also okay if things don't work out. Life goes on.
For
At
sure.
least you can say that you tried. And that is really what matters. So,
Yeah.
it's my little 2 cents.
I appreciate that. I think that as long as you try, you have the opportunity to get the desires of your heart and the things that you need.
Absolutely.
But Ashley, I appreciate you.
Always.
Thank you so much. Until next time.
Until next time.
Appreciate you. Well, that concludes another episode of The Mind's Eye with Mike Lowry. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the website at www.mindsiml.com. I really do appreciate your support. Until next time. Peace.